wonderful day, everyone. Welcome to Group 7 Case Study Video Presentation. I am Chester Ribidasig.
And I am Maria Lini Dudunian.
I'm Rosaline De Lazaro.
I'm Jean Josafat.
Hi, I'm Maria Adeline Pomar.
And this is Melgie Orobia.
Before we formally start, please allow us to show to you first the contents of this study presentation. Overview of the study, brief introduction, objectives of the study, background of the case, problem or impediments, solutions and results, and recommendations. Overview of this study. The subject of this case study is no other than the historic travel brand that made the greatest contribution to the development of tourism and travel industry, Thomas Cook. This study focuses on the travel company's journey and the problem it has encountered while serving in the tourism industry. This case also includes Thomas Cook's strategies and solutions for overcoming the problems, as well as the group's recommendations. The information presented in this case study was based on what the group has read and discovered in numerous studies relevant to the case, and other details were based on the themes, perspectives, and comprehensions.
Brief introduction. Thomas Cook is one of the world's best-known brand in travel and has been referred to as the world's oldest travel company. Thomas Cook began his international travel company in 1841 with a successful wonder wheel excursion he organized between the English cities of Leicester and Loughborough. From these humble beginnings, Thomas Cook began to develop first with domestic excursion, and then from 1850s, the development of tours in continental Europe. From those modest beginnings, Thomas Cook Group plc, or Public Limited Company, has developed into one of the world's leading leisure travel groups with a sales over £9 billion and more than 20 million customers in the year ending September 30, 2013. About 27,000 employees are employed by the group, which operates from offices in 17 countries. It is one or two in all its core market. The company's shares are listed on London Stock Exchange. However, in the recent years the company has experienced some difficulties and radical steps had to be taken to alleviate the situation. Before we proceed to the background of the case, let me discuss first the objectives of this study. First, to be able to provide information about Thomas Cook Travel Company and how did it became a historic travel brand. Second, to identify the factors that have affected the company. Third, to differentiate the solutions that the company did to resolve the company's problems and issues. Then lastly, to be able to recommend the possible solutions.
Thomas Cook was founded by a Baptist preacher, English businessman as regarded as the father of modern tourism, Thomas Cook. He began his international travel company in 1841. Cook believed alcohol was to blame for social problems at that time, and the lives of working people would be greatly improved if they drank less and became better educated. That's why he organized a special train to carry temperance supporters or working people, which about 500 passengers to a temperance meeting 12 miles away, for only 1 shilling. This trip was a successful one-day rail excursion between Leicester and Loughborough. Professor Sir Jurgen Schmude said that even thought this first tour did include an overnight stay. It was already a package holiday that time. He also added that this trip was most definitely the forerunner of the modern package holiday. The fare included travel, accommodation, and food.
Around 1860, the company was arranging foreign trips and was the first one from the country to take people to the US and Europe. and it even arranged many world tours for travelers. When Thomas Cook was succeed in arranging many trips, he became sure about his business and bought a shop on Fleet Street, London, and started selling travel accessories along with travel arrangements. In 1872, Thomas formed a partnership with his son and renamed the company to Thomas and Cook's Son. Thomas' son, John Mason Cook, provided expertise for the commercial of the company. By 1888, the company was able to establish its office in various countries. By now, the company was developed in terms of its services. They were able to arrange many activities in other countries for their travelers, like opera, mountain climbing, etc. The company then run by the family members only and remained the same until 1924, when it was renamed to Thomas Cook and Sons Limited. After getting limited liability status, the third generation of the family was even more successful as travel became more popular. However, the company was sold to Hayes Harf Cartage Company in 1942. After a few decades, it was then acquired by the British government and was renamed to Thomas Cook Group Limited. Between 1974 to 2001, Thomas Cook Group Limited was acquired by many companies until CNN Tourist AG acquired it and renamed it to Thomas Cook Group AG. Later in 2007, Thomas Cook Group AG was merged with My Travel Group to form Thomas Cook Group PLC. In 2015, Thomas Cook Group PLC announced a new partnership with Chinese investment group Fosun International Limited. A lot of mergers made the company become more popular, and then after 178 years in the tourism industry, Thomas Cook collapsed, leaving thousands of travelers stranded.
On September 23, 2019, after more than 100 years in operation, Thomas Cook, one of the world's biggest and oldest travel brands with almost 20 million annual customers, filed for bankruptcy. At that point, it had more than $2 billion in debt. As a result, more than 20,000 employees are jobless and 600,000 holiday makers were left stranded worldwide, triggering Britain's biggest repatriation since World War II. So what happened? How could this travel giant collapse at a time when tourism is bigger than ever? The Thomas Cook Group was a travel company that made its money by offering a one-stop shop for travelers. Everything you need from flight to hotel, to local transport, to tours and even meals were covered in a single package. It even operated its own hotels and airlines. This concept worked for a long time but is gradually declining. Nowadays, with just one click of a button, you can find out what are the best spots to visit, and to get there, there's a cheap ride-hailing like Uber. And with Airbnb, you can have a whole apartment to yourself at a cheaper price than a single hotel room. According to Forbes, on September 23, 2019, by Marisa Garcia, what killed Thomas Cook? Brexit and decline of package holidays undercut venerable travel brand. You're seeing all of these digital businesses, which are demanding the package holiday as we know it. According to New York Times, on September 23, 2019, by Shannon Sims, how could a travel giant Thomas Cook fail? It is a market that is going to die. It is just a matter of time. In 2003, the company started Thomas Cook Airlines. It had 34 planes in its fleet. According to many experts, that was the major reason for Thomas Cook problems. Operating a travel agency is one thing. Running a profitable airline is another. Each has its own risk. Travel agencies are doing well around the world. Airlines are doing well around the world. But combining those together with an uncertain market and failing currency for a company that is saddled with that much debt, you get a perfect storm. Just ask the standalone airlines who have gone bust over the years. Example is the Monarch, Kingfisher, Swiss Air, Aloha Airlines, Air Berlin, Mexicana, WOW Air, and Pan Am. Thomas Cook Airlines more like charter flights than commercial airline operations. To make matters worse, when you have a few bad summers, either because of heat waves, Brexit, or turmoil in top destinations like Greece and Egypt, it can surely cripple a company. Another key factor to the company's demise, according to Financial Times, February 12, 2007 by Sarah Spikes and Roger Blitz, My Travel, a UK-based package travel company, agrees merger with Thomas Cook. And what had initially started out with hope ended up in disaster. According to Flight Global, September 23, 2019, by David Kaminsky Morrow, from the analysis, strategic struggles preceded Thomas Cook. My Travel had been struggling with losses at the time of the merger, and its UK operations were still loss-making even though the company had crept back into overall profit. And in fact, it only made profit once since 2001, and Thomas Cook was being overly optimistic about it and paid the price. According to BBC on September 23, 2019, from Thomas Cook, what went wrong at the holiday firm? In May, Thomas Cook reported a £1.5 billion loss for the first half of its financial year, with £1.1 billion of the loss caused by the decision to write down the value of My Travel. The business is merged within 2007. With the presence of low-cost airlines like EasyJet and Ryanair, the price of flight tickets has been reduced significantly. You don't need to go through a travel agent to keep low cost low, and so people have increasingly been removing the middleman, which happens to be the tour package bundle.
Thomas Cook merger with My Travel. Key to its downfall is Thomas Cook merger with My Travel, a UK-based package travel company, in 2007. What had initially started out with hope ended up with disaster. Thomas Cook ended up with huge debt that proved impossible to manage us. My Travel had only made a profit once since 2001. The impact of the merger came to a head in May, after Thomas Cook reported a record loss of $1.5 billion and steep drop in summer sales. In August this year, 2019, there was hope that Thomas Cook could break free from disaster after it agreed to a $1.1 billion rescue deal with Fosun, a China-based investment company, Thomas Cook's biggest shareholder and its debt holders. Heist Travel only paid Thomas Cook liquidators $6 million to acquire the collapsed tour operator's high street store it has emerged. During a parliamentary hearing yesterday around last month's collapse of Thomas Cook, MPs were told by the insolvency service that Heist Travel paid just over $6 million to buy the 555 Thomas Cook shops, working out at only $10,800 for each size. Thomas Cook began closing some of its physical stores and changed its strategy to an online platform. But it was too little too late, and the online solution presented its own challenges apart from job losses which were significant. How to maintain online customer service at the same level as it was in physical store when customers were talking to a person. In October 2019, it was announced that all the Thomas Cook Travel Agency offices in UK will be taken over by Heist Travel and rebranded under their name. Most of the open offices are being staffed by former Thomas Cook employees. Heist Travel is now the largest independent travel agency in the UK. Heist Travel also who bought the entire portfolio of Thomas Cook, doubling its workforce and trebling its shops' numbers. Today began a new era in travel industry history. And John Heist, the managing director, shared his vision for 2020, with the main theme being happy staff equals happy customers. He paid tribute to the Thomas Cook brand and colleagues, and also explained why he Thais travel could succeed both on the high street and on the line.
Recommendation. Based on the difficulties provided in after thorough analysis, recommendations are made. A best practice strategy can help your business to become more competitive, increase sales, and develop new markets, reduce costs, and become more efficient. According to the findings, it is possible to appreciate the significance of consumers inside the organizational structure. They can have a variety of effects on the firm, and organizations are held accountable for the level of customer satisfaction. It is capable of employing many techniques to enhance client satisfaction, such as increase the product and service quality of Thomas Cook, increase the stock performance, increase the facilities, applying new technology to increase the service quality, apply suitable pricing strategies, training and development program for staff members, reward employees to increase their performance, promotion and discount programs, privilege cards for regular customer, and last, use effective marketing and advertising methods to increase the marketplace. These guidelines re-emphasize previously highlighted concerns about numerous approaches. The recommendations outline what concerns should be taken next to assist avoid a massive collapse like Thomas Cook from happening again, as well as concerns firms should have when thinking on how enterprises are handled. In any case, this declaration and give to persuade the firm to take quick action to reduce the worst impact of corporate failures on employees, consumers, suppliers, and taxpayers. If these proposals are implemented, we may expect more changes to improve corporate governance, higher reporting requirements, and the establishment of a new regulatory agency.
For conclusion, while concluding, it could be stated that Thomas Cook is one of the recognized brands in the global market. A historic travel brand indeed, yet it suffered financial loss owing to increasing competition. For strategic decisions main reason why Thomas Cook collapsed. Thomas Cook was to focus on arranging package tours, as it was the reason on why did they stay long in the business, and merging with companies which lead them to have an insurmountable debt. They failed to adapt and stay competitive in a new generation of more flexible travel companies. Travel-related online service and low-cost airlines have led them to an end. If a company wants to succeed, they need to adapt change according to the generation. Above all, the 178 years of Thomas Cook will never be forgotten as it made a big contribution to the betterment tourism industry.